Today's going to be a changing day in your life. You've never had anybody working harder to bring you to the threshold of change than right now. Well, my guest today looks like she stepped right out of an episode of The Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous. Lydia was sipping champagne in her fur hat, surrounded by her Italian oil paintings and expensive furniture in her mansion in the California hills when we met up with her and her daughters. But her younger daughter, Kim, says, look a little closer.
Today on an all-new Dr. Phil.
Putting on the Ritz.
Not only is she going to inherit her mother's overcrowded mansion,
we're going up to the champagne room. If you can ride, why walk?
But it comes with a price. One giant mess and an older sister she calls the Royal Queen Demon Child.
It's not my responsibility to take care of Lori.
Who lives in the basement.
You make it sound like I put her in a dungeon.
No, I make it sound like what it is.
I know you're tired. I know you haven't had sleep. Lori has been bullied in school.
But she's 58. Kim says this fairy tale is more of a nightmare.
My mom owns a mansion. It's like 6,000 square feet. My mom is a spitfire.
Okay, here's the friggin' elephant in this room.
She's like a cross between Zsa Zsa Gabor and Lucille Ball. With the hat, diamond, champagne.
We're going up to the champagne room. If you can ride, why walk?
My mom looks like she's living the high life. Behind these ornate doors, there's a completely different story. The house is a mess. Gargoyles from France, paintings from Italy, chandeliers from someplace fabulous, but then hoarders stacks of papers and things that haven't been looked at in 20 years. She says some of the art is very valuable and other stuff is garbage, but only she knows. She walked me through the house and she said, garbage, perfect, take this, stick this under your arm. Nothing's written down. I can't remember. What makes it worse is my sister is mentally ill. She's 58 years old. She lives in a tiny portion of this house. Mom set up an apartment for her in the basement. It's all pink. Lori struggles with severe OCD.
Okay, I'm ready.
Major depression. She was never taught any basic skills. It's complete learned helplessness. She just can't do anything for herself, that she became completely isolated, unlikable, kind of like a little demon. Lori's like a royal, victimized, handicapped person. She sits in this big, giant chair. She's a genius at getting to do nothing.
Because I hate that.
Okay. Yeah, that's as good as it's gonna get.
She could live with my mom forever. It would be okay because they like each other. But nobody else finds Lori likable. I would rather die than have my sister live with me. I don't want to be the person that has to get my sister committed. My family situation is a crazy, sad, black comedy. I mean, what is it about the universe where you grow up in a house and the address is actually 5150? Can you see me sitting in this house with my sister and there's just me and her and all this stuff and a bunch of cats? I need Dr. Phil to help me tell my mom that it's not my responsibility to take care of Lori.
You said, I would rather die than live with my sister. That's pretty strong. Tell me about that.
There's just no way to win. There's no way to help her. You can't get her to do anything for herself. If you try to give her advice, she yells at you. It's complicated.
And what do you think's wrong with your sister? Nothing?
I think it's a combination of a very difficult beginning. I think there are real medical things that went wrong. I think she didn't come out happy and normal. And I think that from that moment, maybe even before she was born, there was like a symbiotic agreement that Mom and Lori would never cut the cord.
So this is set up where you're going to inherit this mansion along with your sister. Well, let's look at this mansion that you're expected to inherit. Your mother gave us a tour.
This house makes me feel like I'm in Italy. It makes me feel like people are dancing around. It gives me nothing but happiness and pleasure. So we have arrived into the entrance of my small champagne room. I love the clean lines of the Oriental furniture that are really quite different from the Italian. The tusks are very special. I want you to know that no elephant was harmed. These are not the tusks of a real elephant. I love the horses. They work with the tusks. Everything is a work in progress. This table, my father bought it in Italy. It's a beautiful piece of marble. I love this sink. It's real gold. It's got rose quartz handles. Look at that. Is that gorgeous? This is what I'm going to wear for the downstairs tour. So we've landed in the dining room. The beautiful detail of the craftsmanship of this gorgeous table. Obviously, if you're going to have peacock windows, you do need to have some peacock fans. My stepfather bought this ship for the family in the 1950s. I believe a Spanish galleon. These glasses are Murano glasses. The color that they make is mixed with gold. I don't know what it is about me, but I love beautiful furniture. These chairs, there's only a handful of them in the world, and there are some, I think, in palaces that Queen Elizabeth owns. These are the things I think that makes a house feel fun. This particular piece of furniture, we affectionately call it the Queen's desk, and you can leave that to your imagination as to who that belongs to. One of my favorite things that I happened to see in a window was this horse. I put him out here in the entrance, so he is my greeter. Those dogs are from Brazil. Each piece of glass has been put there by hand. I like combining whimsical with classical if they work. This has sort of a religious feel to it. It looks like something when you'd walk into church, there might be some holy water in there. In this house, however, it would probably be champagne. Beautiful view. I wish I could take the with me. I like it all.
Well, pretty complex house. I mean, a lot of things, right? She thinks you're overreacting. Take a look.
Kim's concern, once I'm gone, is that she would inherit the house and also have to take care of her older sister. I think Kim is playing the victim in this situation. I've done everything legally that I need to do to see to it that Kim and Lori are both secured at the time of my death. The question in Kim's mind as to what to do with the house and the things within the house. 99% of the people out there don't have all these things that you call junk. This is my life. I'm still alive. And when Mama goes, Mama goes. But I live my life the way I choose to right now. I love all of the collectibles, and I intend to live my life exactly the way I need to live it for me. If I was having a conversation with Kim right now, I would say, you know, get off the cross. It's occupied.
You say she needs to get off the cross, it's occupied.
Yes, I did.
So what do you mean?
Kim has so much to offer, and I think there's an awful lot in her that holds on to being the victim, because the reality is the relationship with Kim and Lori had been very difficult. It's not easy when you have one daughter that has problems that are very real problems.
She thinks this is because she is being enabled and is allowed to get by with all of this, and basically thinks while there may be some issues that are there, that she's running a con on you.
Lori has been bullied in school and all kinds of problems, and she does have a chemical problem, and I'm not hiding behind that. But what I will say is that...
But she's 58. How long has she been living back with you?
She's been back with me for 7 years. And
living in a room?
And it's, well, you make it sound like I put her in a dungeon.
No, I make it sound like what it is. She's living in a room.
She wants to live in, well, it's a space that has a kitchen, a bathroom, a shower, a washer and dryer, and that's because she needed some privacy. and I needed some privacy.
For 7 years? I mean, she doesn't do...
I wouldn't
does
need
she
it
go
for
out?
7 years.
Does she engage with people?
No, she doesn't. She's not good with that at all. She needs to get out of her own way.
Well, we're going to find out why Kim says this might be a case of Munchausen's. She'll explain why she says that when we come back.
Munchausen is an insecure mother who needs to make a child sick so that they could get attention. All I need to do to get attention, frankly, is to put on an eyebrow and a bra, and I get all the attention I need.
Tomorrow.
They live in fear of their brother Ryan, who they say turns into a monster if he doesn't get what he wants, mainly marijuana.
Ryan, stop!
You don't have an anger problem. That's a relief.
Get the
You actually believe that you have the right to rage like this?
The weed smoking isn't a problem. I feel like everything that I do is right.
It's unbecoming and it's outrageous.
That's tomorrow. Then on Monday.
He lost their retirement fund, mostly on women he met online.
Sophie is mute. April and I are engaged. This lady is Jade.
Kind of like a soap opera.
New Dr. Phil, Monday.
My doorways are very important to me. They're beautiful. They're all beautiful. The candle holders are quite lovely. This particular piece here was bought in Sorrento along with a matching desk. These glasses I bought when we were in Germany. I know, or possibly, I think they were bought in Milan. One of the things that I love the most about this house, really the most, is the spectacular view. Even on a day like today when the rain has been out and the sun is trying to give us a little smile before we leave.
Well, Lydia's daughter Kim emailed me because she says she is terrified that not only is she going to inherit her mother's, what she describes as overcrowded and messy mansion, but also her sister, whom she calls an out-of-control demon child. Why do you say you think this is Munchausen?
I don't mean it in the way like the movies where it's like the arsenic's on the donut and then she calls herself a good mother because the kid's dying. I don't mean that.
Okay.
I think there's a type of illness that's so symbiotic where when the mother's having a great time and the daughter says, "Oh, I'm bleeding, oh," and you're like, well, but you've been doing that for 58 years. There's always something. There's always a new disease to go to the doctor and kill whatever's going on with anybody else.
Do you react to this if she comes up with these vague complaints that disrupts the flow of things?
I will say this. Look, you're the doctor. You can tell me if I have the first disease, what is it called?
Munchausen
by proxy.
No, I don't think so.
No, I don't think so. I think that there was a symbiosis that happened when I carried Lori. I was alone. I was in a situation where I was alone morning, noon, and night.
Yeah, she's 58.
And so I get that, Dr. Phil. I really do.
But is she manipulative?
Oh, absolutely.
Like
There's no question about
her
it.
stepfather's 95th birthday, she announced she had cancer.
I didn't hear that.
On the morning of the 95th birthday, which I only would have had a couple of hours to spend with her, she calls her crying. She needs to come up. Her teeth are bleeding, and she thinks it's cancer. And she sat and wrote down, "I have cancer, I have cancer." I went upstairs, and there's always an excuse.
There's truth to what you're saying, that she finds every little thing, because she doesn't have a life. And so when she tells me these little things, sometimes daily, she'll say, "Well, what's wrong with you? Well, can you just look at this rash?" And she'll say, "What do you think it is?" And I said, "It's cancer." Because why not? She thinks it's going to be cancer. I don't want to talk about her for 15 hours. I said, check with your doctor and make sure that you're not right. I mean, I do have a sense of humor. Okay? I mean, trust me, you have to have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
when
that's
you
the knee
have
slapper.
situations like this. Oh, yeah. Does she manipulate? Yes. But she's also very loving, very giving, also there's things that Kim doesn't see. Kim will see things from her perspective. She doesn't see the other things. So, yeah, of course we do.
How is she giving?
Well, for example, the other day when she went to the doctor, she came back and she said, "Oh, Mommy, I know you're in a rush. I bought you a sandwich from Subway."
But you know what I think about when I hear you say that?
Sure, what? Go ahead.
I've sucked you dry for 7 years. Here's a sandwich.
I don't think she thinks like that.
No, I don't think she thinks that way, but I think that's what's happening. Coming up, we're going to meet Lori. I understand she was having some difficulty backstage with our staff earlier. So we'll see if she will join us next. We'll see.
We went to Lori to talk to her about wardrobe choices for the show today. She wouldn't even entertain the idea of changing her socks. She had blue hospital socks on.
I can't do this.
Lori, what?
I feel like I'm being, Lori, you're here on trial.
But you're not.
You're taping me. This is what we're here for, to see where you're at and what you need.
We sent our hair and makeup artist down to Lori's dressing room because she didn't want to come upstairs, and once we sent them down, she refused to do hair and makeup.
No, I don't want to get my hair and makeup done. I haven't slept in a week.
But you cannot leave.
They're done
This
questioning
is
you.
not right for you to do for your life.
Sit down, please.
Here, come back.
Now you sit down. Don't do that. I know you're tired. I know you haven't had sleep. This is ridiculous.
And she's just getting off of medication.
And later, are you surprised that she feels that way?
Yes, I'm insulted she feels that way.
Yeah.
In fact, that's one of the reasons we don't get along.
Yeah, if you thought somebody's going to kill you, that would certainly dry up the conversation.
I don't get to see my mother very often because of my sister. It's not worth the brain damage. So when I do come to town, I stay in hotels. I've seen when the medication doesn't work, because that's the excuse. There's always an excuse when Lori, goes off the rails. And she gets mad, she gets like those cobra eyes. And I imagine she could hurt me or scare me. I don't really believe that she would kill me, but I'm not sure. If my mother wasn't alive and my sister got into an angry fit, she could maybe trip me down the stairs if she thought she could get away with it.
Well, ever since Kim's mother, Lydia, started talking about her will, Kim has been overwhelmed with the idea of inheriting what she describes as a rundown, messy mansion, along with her older sister, who Kim says is a manipulating genius. Now, Kim claims that her glamorous and spitfire 78-year-old mother is to blame for her sister's childish behavior. Take a look.
I admit that. Part of the problem is that I've done too much for Lori. I have been very enabling, and I have stopped doing that. Lori would have a problem with any future changes after I'm gone. What would she do in her life? Where would she go? I don't think Kim should have the responsibility of providing for Lori, because I think I can get that handled. Kim thinks that there is a Munchausen situation and that I don't see it. Munchausen is an insecure mother who needs to make a child sick so that they could get attention. All I need to do to get attention, frankly, is to put on an eyebrow and a bra, and I get all the attention I need. Have since I was a little girl. Thank God one of the gifts that I received was being attractive. I wish for Kim to live the way she needs to live. I wish for Lori to live in the way that she needs to live. This makes me feel like I'm living my life, and I intend to do that for another 50 years or so. And I'll drink to that.
Lori says both her mother and sister have always looked down on her because of her mental illness, as she describes it.
My relationship with my mom is very toxic. She's very overprotective. Oh, I didn't sleep very well, and I just want to go downstairs and relax.
And you just got off that medication, didn't you?
She tends to talk down to me. She makes me feel incompetent in front of people. It embarrasses me, and it affects my self-esteem. She's been making me feel like this all my life. I think she does it because of my OCD and my clinical depression, and because I have emotional problems. We get along most of the time, but when we argue, it's because she gets impatient with my illness. My OCD causes me to worry about everything. My OCD causes me to check things all the time. There is always a constant fear of getting ill, getting sick, dying, that type of thing. My sister Kim always looked down on me because of my illness, and she's always been afraid of me. She's even said to my mother multiple times that she thought I was going to kill her, but that is not true. My sister Kim makes herself the victim. My fear is I might end up alone in this world and maybe end up homeless or with no one to love me, no one to care for me. I wonder how I'm going to make it. I wonder how I'm going to survive. I would say to Kim, I hope that someday we can be close and we can get along. I hope you can help me.
So how are you feeling today?
Very nervous.
We've been kind of talking, and I'm interested in knowing how you think you get along with your sister, Kim.
We're not real close. I just don't think she understands my illness.
You said you're afraid of heights, so you needed a dressing room downstairs.
Yes, I won't go upstairs.
But I was watching on film, and you were going on stairs.
If she didn't have 2 handrails, I wouldn't even be going up those.
There you are.
I don't want to see it.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't want to see it.
Because
I'm
you're
all
just,
hunched over.
you're not even using your cane or anything. You're just zipping.
Because I'm hanging on 2 handrails.
Yeah. But our stairs are not as steep as those stairs.
I saw your stairs. I wouldn't be here on this stage if I had to go up those stairs.
Yeah. Ours are carpeted with handrails.
Doesn't matter. I wouldn't go up them.
Yeah, well, I've just found that interesting. Okay, what do you do for fun?
I just usually watch a lot of television.
We actually went to visit you.
Oh, yes.
Coach Mike went to see Lori and spent some time with her. We'll take a look at that when we come back.
Oh, hi. Are they filming now?
They are, yeah.
I just want this done as soon as possible so I can leave.
Okay.
My mom keeps telling me that Dr. Phil is the only person who can help me because I want a very small life.
What do you do day to day here?
I just visit with my mom and watch television.
And later...
That's not what I was told.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's why we're giving you a fact check here. Well, Kim says she's so scared of her sister Lori that she fears for her life. Kim says Lori is a demon child that would do anything for attention, even tripping her down the stairs. But Lori says that's far from the truth. Now, their mother Lydia agrees because she says Lori has never been physical with anyone and wonders if their daughters will ever get along. You plan on killing her?
Of course not.
Plan on tripping her down the stairs?
No.
Are you surprised that she feels that way?
Yes, I'm insulted she feels that way.
Yeah.
In fact, that's one of the reasons we don't get along.
Yeah, if you thought somebody's going to kill you, that would certainly dry up the conversation. I mean, well, Mike Baer is a life coach and the CEO of Cass Centers. He wrote a New York Times best-selling book called Best Self, Be You Only Better. And I consider him the best at helping people maximize their true potential. And I asked Coach Mike to meet up with Lori yesterday, so he paid her a visit.
I'm here at the home of Lydia and Lori, and Dr. Phil has asked me to come to their house and figure out what is going on.
You're coming, Lori. I'm really tired. I know. I don't know how much longer I can hang on.
Nice to meet you. I'm Mike.
Oh, hi. Are they filming now?
They are, yeah.
I just want this done as soon as possible so I can leave.
Yeah.
Good.
So tell me a little bit about you.
My mom keeps telling me that Dr. Phil is the only person who can help me because I want a very small life. The only thing I want to do is to fall in love again, maybe have a few more friends, have a home by the water.
What do you do day to day here?
I just visit with my mom and watch television. I was in a common law marriage for 30 years, and my husband died 7 years ago, and then I moved in with my mom.
And are you actively doing anything to meet men?
Not at the moment.
No. And when was the last time you did?
I haven't.
And what type of men do you like? Like when you say
Someone
fall
who's
in love?
kind, caring, childlike. The only thing I want is just to meet somebody and...
For sure. And there's like, over here's meeting someone, and then there's like all the steps to get there, right?
Yeah.
Because Amazon doesn't give those in delivery yet.
Yeah.
You know, it's a bad joke, but...
I don't know what that means.
Oh, Amazon is a delivery service.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't order anything off Amazon?
I don't have a computer. I don't want one. And
the TV serves its purpose.
yes.
Exactly. So talk to me about what it's like to live with OCD.
The OCD affects my life by making me worry constantly about everything.
Has it progressed for you?
It's gotten a little worse as I've gotten older.
What's worse today than maybe what was?
It just made me feel hopeless, scared.
Hopeless, okay.
Yeah, sad. I'm on some very serious medication, and if I don't get these medications every single day, I will die.
The whole intention of this is to help you, not hurt you. You know you need more connection with people, right?
Yeah.
But on the other hand, you have this part of you that's
I'm
like...
a very private person. I like to be alone.
You say you watch TV, so what do you like to watch on TV?
Laverne and Shirley. I just constantly have the TV going. Even if I don't watch it, it's on.
It's almost like medicating.
Yeah.
If it would be nice to have more friends and fall in love, what do you think will need to shift?
Probably for me to get out of my room and go places to make friends.
Yeah, because unless there's a robbery and someone comes in, I don't know how you're going to meet a man.
Yeah.
And so we'll sit down with Dr. Phil and talk about what decisions do you need to make.
I mean, like when I met my husband, we fell in love right away, and I didn't need Dr. Phil's help to do that.
Well, I think you're in a different spot now. Can you tell me a little bit about with your mom and sister's dynamic?
Well, my mom basically has damaged me by overprotecting me all my life. My sister has always been judgmental and has treated me very badly because of my OCD and my depression.
What do you think it'll take to improve that?
I think they need to change.
And so we're going to sit down with Dr. Phil, present it to him, and see what he has to say.
Okay.
When Lori left the house, she hobbled, hunched over with her cane, and I got the impression that she really takes on the role of being just so weak, so sick, incapable, and just overall wanting to be left alone. I just sat down with your daughter, Lori. What do you wish was different?
I wish that, first of all, my daughters were together in terms of at least being able to be pleasant to one another and maybe down the line actually get to know each other and like each other.
And so if you could wave a magic wand, what would things look like for Lori?
I think that Lori needs to be away from Mom, who is right here if she has a problem and just can come upstairs. In order to get well, she might have to turn Laverne and Shirley off and do something for herself.
I'll go back to Dr. Phil and tell him what we spoke about.
I'll drink to that, Mike.
So I'll fist bump it to that.
All right, there you go.
How did you find your conversation with Coach Mike?
It's okay.
You were like in a hurry, so I need to get this over with here.
Yeah,
what were you?
So.
What were you busy with? What were you in a hurry to get to?
I was told by all of my psychiatrists if I don't get these medications every single night,
That you'll die?
Yes.
Dr. Sophie?
Yes, sir.
Are there medications that if you miss a dose, you die? How did you find your conversation with Coach Mike? What were you busy with? What were you in a hurry to get to?
Well, I don't sleep well at night, and I was just tired. I just wanted to rest.
Okay. Did anything she said to Coach Mike jump out at you?
In terms of...
Well, like, for example, she said, there's medications I'm taking that if I don't take them, I'll die.
Well, I don't know if she was told that by a doctor.
I was told that by all my psychiatrists.
So I don't know if that's factual or not, Dr.
It is true.
So I don't know what she was told as far as that goes.
Really?
I was told by all of my psychiatrists if I don't get these medications every single night.
That you'll die?
Yes.
You miss a dose, you're dead.
Yes.
I want to introduce Dr. Charles Sophie. He is a board-certified and licensed psychiatrist. He is really steeped in psychopharmacology. Dr. Sophie?
Yes, sir.
Are there medications that if you miss a dose, you die?
Not that I'm aware of.
Is there anything, I mean, that we're talking about in treatment of depression or OCD, is there a medication that if you miss a dose, you die?
No, but it will make it worse, and that's maybe what they were trying to convey to her.
No,
if you don't
that's
stay
not what
with
I
your
was told.
medication, keep it at a blood level it needs to be, the disease can take over again.
Yeah, that's not what they're saying. They're saying you miss a dose, you die.
No, not at all.
That's not what I was told.
Yeah. Okay, well, that's why we're giving you a fact check here.
And there could be some truth, because even before I arrived, when you said I can't hold on any longer and you were tired, it goes from a 4 to a 10, just with being tired, right? And what I noticed was a lot of kind of extreme thinking around illness, problems with you.
Because if you're sleep deprived, you have poor quality sleep, that can really, really cause fatigue and general malaise. That can really rob you of your energy, cognitively, physically, particularly if it's chronic. That can make it really difficult for you. And sometimes if you sleep too much, it can have the same effect of not sleeping enough, which can really drain you. All right, coming up, Lydia says she wants Lori to have the confidence to function without her. And my thoughts on that and on Kim's concerns about what happens in the distant future when we come back. You have no plan for the next 7 years being any different than the last 7 years, correct?
I don't know.
Exactly. You don't know. So I do have a plan.
I don't want to do it right now. Not right now. The problem with Dad back then was he was drinking and he was emotionally and verbally abusive.
Growing up, my dad was the tough love guy, and it was maybe a little too tough, which made my mom overcompensate.
I wasn't thinking about the consequences of what would happen if she latches on to me and I do everything for her. I was thinking of the pain that she's going through.
Since my parents' divorce, the relationship I have with my father is very good because I forgave him for the abuse. He's a very good father to me right now.
You say you want your life back, that you want to get back into the swing of things and enjoy your life. And I saw pictures of you with your husband, and you're grinning ear to ear, and you looked happy and vibrant. And I want that back. And if you want to change your life, then you have to behave your way from where you are to where you want to be. Do you agree with that? Yeah. And, you know, Coach Mike, how do you approach this? How would you do this from a coaching standpoint with Lori? Not generally, with Lori.
With Lori, I would change the structure of Lori's life. So it would be someone, when she wakes up at 6 a.m., starting with a ritual that kicks off the day, writing out some goals for the day of what is going to get accomplished.
You're talking about with a life coach?
With a life coach, with a woman who comes by the house and starts to work through her goals. And we would start to make sure she gets to her doctor's appointments, really get a pulse on her medications, and make sure we're following protocols that are in her best interest, and start to arrange your life in such a way so that you're living your life and you're excited about your life.
I love it.
Because you're not going to do that on your own. You've shown that for 7 years. Weeks turn into months, months turn into years. We're here 7 years later, and you have no plan for the next 7 years being any different than the last 7 years, correct?
I don't know.
Exactly. You don't know. So I do have a plan. What does that sound like to you?
When does this have to happen if I choose to do this?
Well, yesterday by noon. I mean, as soon as possible. What else have you got to do?
I don't want to do it right now. Not right now.
We'll be right back. I just described something to you that I think can sound really overwhelming to you.
That does sound overwhelming.
Oh, and I listen, I get that. Trust me, I get
It's like
that.
somebody's watching me live my life, telling me what to do from the moment I wake up in the morning to the time I go to bed. I don't know if I can.
Yeah, which is exactly what you need, but.
I don't know if I can deal with that right now.
No, I understand, but.
I'm just being honest, I don't know.
No, and I am too. I'm being very honest. That's exactly what you need, because without that, you will continue to require so little of yourself that this year is going to slip by whether you're doing something about your life or whether you're not. And what you need to understand is that the role of a life... Life coach is to meet you where you are, not asking you to meet them where they are. Meet you where you are and set a pace that you can handle, but it's got to be more than what you're doing right now, because what you're doing right now is not getting you what you want. Do you get that?
Absolutely, 1,000%.
Now,
we've talked about it. It's absolutely true.
Those of you here in the audience, if I came to you and said, we're going to really polish up your life and you're going to have a partner in doing this, if that's something that would sound good to you, stand up right now.
I'm standing up right now.
All right, y'all can sit down because I'm not doing that.
Now I have to get back up.
But I am doing that for you. Here we go.
Well, he's more my type, Doug.
Yeah, okay. There we go.
Thank you.
And what you're concerned about is being overwhelmed.
I feel overwhelmed.
Yeah, and I'm saying you don't need to feel overwhelmed, because you're going to be comfortable with somebody and they're going to take this a step at a time where you go, I feel good about this. Let's build on this today. We'll add something to it next week. We'll add something to it next week.
I can't do it. The answer is not right now.
Yeah. I completely respect that you don't want to lose control of your life. And that's not what I'm telling you. Don't miss the fact that I said, you're in control here. We're going to bring you the help, and you guys are going to negotiate what you want to do at your pace, as long as it's more than what you're doing right now. We will meet you where you are and move at your pace. You're not losing control here. You're in control. Will you agree to meet with this person?
Come on.
All right.
Okay.
Do I have your commitment? Okay. All right.
Look at the audience.
Okay. You know, and as for your concerns about this, I have a really good friend, Anne Margaret Carrozza. She wrote a great book called Love and Money, and she really specializes in estate planning. She certainly says it's important to not put 100% burden on one child, and that's why we're here saying, let's start doing this now. Let's get this balanced out now. So these girls can enjoy each other and their lives moving forward. Let's not wait until things change. Let's do things now. I want to thank all of my guests today, and a special thanks to Dr. Charles Sophy. Dr. Sophy, thank you so much. A special thanks to Coach Mike. Thanks for going over to their home and spending time with him. Thank you. Coach Mike's New York Times best-selling book is Best Self, Be You Only Better. And by the way, everybody in the audience is going home with a copy. Don't forget, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll see you next time.